All right, hello everyone. We definitely had a glitch this morning, and I've had to recreate a really quick link to the Blue Light Movement page as well as the um, YouTube page. So I'm going to wait to see if you can find me. Excuse me. I had a few of you on live on YouTube, so I hope that you can find me again. So, all right, good morning, Christy. And so now I'll just wait for those on YouTube. I hope that they can find me again. Oh, thank goodness, Verna. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, so it was the craziest thing. Anyway, good morning. Here from the Pacific Northwest. It's Nancy Rebecca. Just had a little bit of a blue light glitch this morning. And so anyway, it just popped on. I clicked go live, and then all of a sudden there was this big red line through the Blue Light Movement page, and it said it was canceled or it deleted itself. So anyway, fast action movement. I almost called Kathy this morning to say, help, we've got help. How do I do this? But anyway, I figured it out. So awesome. All right. So yes. Good morning, Barbara and Samantha. I'm glad that you are able to find the right time zone from Thailand. Um, Hi, Tosca. Thanks for popping on. Hi, Kim. Warrior Girls, always so consistent. All right, Javante, hi, Grand Rising from Arizona. So Arizona, I have heard that you guys were having some 3-digit heat numbers there. We're going to get up into the 80s, which is a total shock for us here in April, and we're going to take it. We are accepting it. All right. So let me just see. Let me get back to my notes. All right, so good morning out there to all of those who are followers of the blue light and who get really excited about the possibility of star beings from other galaxies that truly are here to help us here on Earth. My calling, just for those of you who do not know who I am and who will be following this replay later on. My name is Nancy Rebecca. I am a registered nurse. I do, for the last 28 plus years, have worked as a clairvoyant, psychic, healer, teacher. I have 3 full-year psychic mastery development programs. And so I've been taking a pretty deep dive into this, but because my passion is as a registered nurse, it's like, where I've been, it's like, well, that's great that there's all this in these other dimensions, but how is it impacting our bodies, our emotions, our minds, and our spiritual balance and harmony here on Earth? So I'm always that person that is going to say, yeah, but what about reality? But what about reality? But what about reality? And so you're always going to be able to kind of depend on me to be here saying, okay, let's bring it back to the body. That's great, but let's bring these high levels of consciousness back to the body. But today we're going to trip out on some higher dimensional blue light star beings. They really have brought through some information. There's been some big shifts that have been happening, and the telepathic channels are attempting to open up big time, but the star beings are sending waves of telepathic messages to us. But if you can't bring it into the body, how are you going to know what they're saying or what the messages are that are coming through? I'm not the only one on the earth that is able to bring through these messages. Each and every one of you are able to do that too. I've been working at this for 28 years. I've met people from all walks of life. And what I have learned is that you all are crazy, brilliant, awesome. You have high levels of capacity spiritually, but you have this little bit of an issue. And part of the issue is that you hide your light. You think yourself smaller than you actually are. And how am I an expert on that? Because, I've been right there with you, and I've had to, when my spirit's saying, you've got some big messages, you've got a calling, you've got a path, and it's like, you've got the wrong address. You've tapped the shoulder of the wrong person. And they're like, no, we haven't. So I've been there, I've done that, I'm still doing that on a regular basis, but I'm here to tell you, you just don't know you can do it because nobody has told you that you can. So I'm here. Let me be the first if you don't know that. Okay, so you and I are multidimensional beings. So again, just in case you didn't know that, I'm going to tell you that. What does that even mean? So what that means is that, our physical body is here in this physical realm. That's called what most people, somebody, somewhere decided to call it the third dimension. I don't know who started that, but that's where we are. Then you have the fourth dimension, and then you have the fourth dimension is kind of the rainbow bridge that helps our physical body in the 3D world connect to the 5D world where our higher self resides. Now, it's that aspect of your higher self that resides in the 5D level that you can still you can still communicate with. If you don't know that you can communicate with your higher self, it's just because you've never tried it, somebody hasn't told you can do it, or maybe you just haven't practiced enough making those connections. It all comes through telepathy. So telepathy is that kind of, I'm not sure that I like the description of mind-to-mind communication, but it's kind of like that. And because it's more than the mind, it's the expansiveness of who you are. So that's really expanding in a big way. So you're a multidimensional being. However, what about those other realms? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hundreds of dimensions higher. Now, some of you out there are able to communicate in those earthly realms, and you're able to communicate in the cosmic realms. In actuality, all of you are communicating at all of those realms all the time. But there's this little thing that's called consciousness. You are unconscious. Most of you are unconscious to those other realms. And there's a reason for that, because your spirit came to earth to focus on on humanity, to focus on your humanness. You can have kids that are born very intuitive, and then all of a sudden that veil comes down and they don't remember their past lives, they don't remember their intuitive. And that's because their spirit wants them to kind of have the blinders on so they can live through middle school and high school and young adult years. And then it starts to open up again around the age of 30. So you can tell I'm on my little soapbox here. So what we're doing here on this blue light movement page is we're starting to open ourselves up to our conscious communication to those higher dimensions. So I'm wearing this cloth, so let me just explain a little bit about this cloth. So you might imagine that when the high realms of the Abalosi, so this is my Abalosi cloth. The blue beads here are my Abalosi beads. So I used to live in South Africa. I've been to South Africa over 20 times. I have a lot of friends there. And one day I had the Sangomas. So the Sangomas are the medicine people, or what do they call them? Traditional doctors is what they call them. And when they came through and they said, oh, you must go through training to be a Sangoma. You have a big calling to work with many, many, many people, and you must go through the training to help you to really ground. Now, I did that over a 3-year period of time. And so that's another story for another day. And I've written a few blogs about that. But then in 2017, the blue beings of light came through, star beings. I'd never heard of that before. And then it's interesting, I got a call from the Sangomas in South Africa, and they said, it's time for you to go through your Abalosi training. Now I didn't know what the Abalosi training. I thought, all right, I've gone through Sangoma training. I'm a traditional medicine woman. However, what is this Abalosi training? And they said, the high frequencies are coming through. You need to learn how to work with those higher dimensional frequencies. So when I got there, that's when I got this blue cloth. There was a 3-day ceremony. Yes, there's a lot of energy, Julia, a lot of energy in this cloth. So what they explained to me was the Abalosi are the star beings. The Abalosi are our star ancestors. And what they explained was not all shamans choose the Abalosi path. Not all shamans are going to work in those higher frequencies, the higher dimensions. So I have my Sangoma family that's in South Africa, but only, let's say, if there's 100 in my Sangoma family, there might be about 5 within the lineage that I'm a part of that move to the next level of the Abalosi training. So that Abalosi training came after the first visitation of the blue star beings that came to visit me. So I'm not going to drop much more into this story, because you can definitely go to intuitivemind.org, and you can click on blogs and click on the blue light blog portion, and you can read all about it. You can also watch a lot of videos on YouTube. All right, let's get this party started. So in 2017, the communication from the Abalosi, the star beings, began to make rapid shifts into consciousness. And this started happening in 2019. It will happen again this year. You're going to be hearing from me a whole lot more this year. These rapid shifts. Imagine you're in this sports car and you're just shifting, and the speed is getting higher and higher and higher from the star beings, from our ancestors who came from the stars. What the blue beings of light have told me is this rapid shift will continue through 2025 to 2027. So I said, okay, that's a 2-year range. And they said, well, it depends on the consciousness of Earth. If consciousness of Earth rises quick enough, then it'll smooth out around 2025. If we need just a little more time, then we'll have a couple of more years of shifting to help humanity awaken into a greater level of consciousness. Okay. All right. Warrior girl saying 2 to 3 sons admit, 2 of the 3 sons admit they are telepathic. So yeah, all of us are telepathic. You just don't know it yet. So today I'm telling you, you're telepathic, and we're going to work on your telepathic channels. All right. So there has been a big shift in the blue light movement recently. So right after the spring equinox, I got so excited. I wanted to just pop on and tell you early, but it was a developing story. So right after the equinox, when Pluto moved into Aquarius, there was another kind of a very light surge of blue. There was a lot of this blue rays of energy coming down from the galaxies, infusing the Earth. And it was starting to it's almost like the whole earthly planet was glowing blue. So that's the first thing that I noticed. But then recently, in the last 3 weeks, what's happening is these spirals. So it's kind of hard for me to describe, but I'm going to do the best that I can do. But it's like these spirals, or like coils of light coming from the cosmos. This is happening right now. You're sitting in it right now. So these blue spirals are coming down, down, down. And so when I asked, why is it not just a straight line? They said, because they want it to infuse the earthly realm at a slower pace. Doing the spiral helps kind of slow down. Imagine if you dropped a ball from the sky and it hit the earth. That'd be pretty hard. But if you put that same ball or that marble in that little spiral, it's going to just slowly make its way down. So that's why we have the spirals. Well, the spirals are 360 degrees infusing the earth at this time. It's going all the way down to the blue crystals. And then it's being shot back out, and there's these spirals going all the way back out to the stars. So I want you to imagine now, these blue spirals coming in, infusing the earth, and blue spirals going out. So the blue beings of light said, the earth is communicating to the other dimensions, communicating to the star beings. The star beings are communicating to the earthly beings. So we just happen to be in the middle of all of that. It's just like this wave is just going through. So we're not really, it's not harsh. It's very gentle. So these loops of blue are doing a deep dive from this, I'm calling it the star sequence of Orion's belt. So Orion's belt is a star system, and then you have the planet Sirius, and you have the star beings, the Sirians. Now there's the Pleiadians. There's a lot of different star beings. I've talked about those before. I will probably talk more about them as the year progresses. But the information specifically they said is coming from the Orion galaxy. All right, I explained the blue crystals. There is a harmonious balance being created with the purpose of harmonizing everything on Earth, especially human relationships and communities. Now there's another level of, for some of you, this spiral is going into your body and coming back out through the chakras and coming back out. It's not happening for everyone. I do plan to create a meditation, but it looks like it's going to be a couple of more months before we'll start to see more and more of humanity doing this. Now, I just want to put in one of these kind of release forms. You can kind of sign it in the air, this release form. And the release form is humanity in its unconscious state can be highly programmable, meaning that you can hear something on the news and you believe it only to find out later it was a big fat lie. So it's the same with the blue star beings and the blue beings of light, that you in your unconscious state might really believe everything that I am saying. And I am just going to put it back to your responsibility as an adult that you be discerning. So take just everything with just a little bit of salt about what you're bringing in. However, what I can share with you is that the ancient ones talk about this. The ancient ones talk about this time that we're on Earth. The ancient ones, the Sangomas would say, your ancestors are from the stars, Nancy. So all of that's unfolded, but I really want to make sure that you really are always discerning in your consciousness and taking in what you believe and what you don't believe. Now I'm going to tell you my own pattern because for various reasons, I didn't trust many people growing up. And so what was my discernment? I would often say, and my friends have heard me say this, it's like, well, I don't feel it in my bones. I need to feel it in my bones. And I can't even describe to you what that means. But when I feel it in my bones and I can really embody that that's a truth for me, then I'll listen. But if I can't bring it into my bones yet, then I'll kind of just be the observer. All right, let me get back to my talk. So please put in the comment section if you agree, and promise to always be discerning when you're listening to anything that I have to say, or that the blue beings of light bring through me, okay? So there are going to be 3 surges of blue light this year. 3. So for those of you who've been following me a long time, in 2019, we had a big surge through the pyramid in Xi'an, China. In 2021, we had a big surge, just this column of blue light through the pyramid in Mexico, Teotihuacan. Apologies for my pronunciation. And now here it is in 2023. So I expected it to be one big surge. I was getting really confused in my consciousness. The penny dropped for me when I could finally hear what they were telling me. There's going to be 3 big surges. It will be in the area of Hopi Land in Arizona, Chavante. And the 3 surges will illuminate the 3 mesas there in the area of Hopi Land. So we'll continue to report more information as we move towards those dates, and that will be in November of 2023. Remember, the 3 mesas are aligned with Orion's belt. The 3 mesas are aligned with Orion's belt, and there has been a book written about that. If anybody has ever read that book, I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I have the book somewhere, but I don't remember which place I put it. So the star beings, Assyrians, are holding great hope for our future. Okay, these are the messages from the blue beings of light. Thank you. Thank you all for saying that you will be discerning. Thank you, Javante, about searching for lodging around the area at that time. I did look into it, and there's actually on one of the mesas, there is a hotel there, but they had closed down for lack of water. Now that we've had a lot of rain, I don't know if they have water again, but I was really disappointed in one way because I wanted to be right in the middle of the action. But now I'm being told, because we're going to have 3 different surges in the month of November, I wouldn't be going there anyway. Orion Zone. Thank you, Verna. Verna, do you know who the author is of Orion Zone? If you could put that also in there so people can look it up, and you can order it on Amazon. Thanks, Jackie. She's inviting me to come stay with her in Phoenix. All right. Can you hear the racing cars? Gary David. Thank you, Berna. All right, you ready for the messages from the blue beings of light? Here we go. It is time to declutter our earth. It's time to declutter your earth, your homes, and your mind, especially if you truly wish to have the greater clarity that you seek. The blue beings of light wish that they could do our heavy lifting for us and just wash away all of our troubles. They are sending, but they want us to know they're sending hope-filled encouragement so that you will continue to reach deep for your own strength that has been buried under your feelings of smallness. So they're sending you encouragement. They're sending the whole world hope and encouragement. And they said, you'll just feel this once in a while, like you just take a deep breath and it's like, whoa, I'm just feeling this hopefulness today. I don't know what's going on. They're saying that that's really coming from the blue beings of light. They wish for you to know that, yes, there are many star beings in your galaxies and in the outer galaxies that are truly invested in our success here on Earth. At the higher frequencies, the higher dimensions from outer space, the star beings look back towards our planet. So they're asking us to imagine what it would be like if you were far away in another galaxy and you're looking back towards Earth. You would see Earth in the same way you see the stars, They would be these little sparkling whites. And so what the blue beings of light are saying, but just like our planet goes through a movement of influence by other planets like Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury and Pluto and the moon and the sun and Neptune and Venus and Mars, like all of those influence, the star beings said to me, have you ever thought, Nancy, how the Earth influences the rest of the galaxy? And honestly, I have to say I never had. So have you ever thought about how we influence the galaxy? How Earth, I say we, is if the Earth is me and I am the Earth, but how Earth influences the universe and the other galaxies. So the blue star beings are asking us to start realizing our influence. Now, this really weaves in with what I've been talking about on the daily, weekly talks on Thursdays. Spirit is wanting us to start to, as we awaken and become more conscious, to take more responsibility for what our thoughts, the energies that we're putting out there, because that energy gets magnified and sent out to the universe. So that's why there's this blue spiral coming in right now to help us kind of transmute some of those heavier, denser thoughts, make them lighter and brighter. So there's this core radiance that comes from the earth. So it said, just like our planets go through a movement of influence, the planet Earth is also influencing them. Now the blue beings of light said, have you ever really thought about your science of gravity? Have any of you on this call watching the replay ever thought about the influence of our Earth and the science of gravity? Have you ever, these are the blue light beings, these are the questions they were asking me, and I was like, no, actually, I haven't. So then they said, Nancy, have you ever sat in the miracle of what it's like to walk out your door, your front door, with solid, strong steps that just so happen to remain on the earth? So how many of us really think about that gift, that magical gift, that amazing, incredible ability for the trees and the plants and the houses and the cars and all of this to remain here on earth? And then the blue light being said, have you ever thought about what a miracle it is that trees and plants, their root systems go down? How do they know how to do that? And it's through the very strong science of gravity. So there was almost this way they were talking about gravity as if they were talking about the most beautiful thing in the entire universe. They were like, you've got this incredible gravitational pull on the earth that most other places do not have. And they're saying you are able to manifest through matter because of this enormous gravitational pull. So they're really asking us to, I don't even know if gratitude can cover it. Gratitude sounds so superficial after hearing the depth of their reverence for the energy of gravity. So in many ways, they see our earthly influence as they called it, a creative force of great potential. So our earth is a creative force, a great creative force of, a creative force of great potential. We can only have this strong creative force with the strong magnetic core and gravity. So then they said, think of the earth as a metal pipe that contracts and expands in the cold and the heat. This is what the earth is doing right now. And it says, take humanity out of the equation. So we take everything personal, right? Like it's all about us. But what they're looking at is the survival of earth in a big way. and they want humanity to be able to come along for the ride in ease and effortlessness. But they're looking at the survival of Earth as a planet. So taking humanity equation out of it, the Earth is simply, they said, contracting and expanding. They said, you talk about this as global warming, but the star beings see it simply as expansion and contraction. And what they're saying is each time it expands more and contracts less, expands more and contracts less. So it never always goes back to that fully contracted state. This strong magnetic pull of gravity helps all the planets hold their place. Isn't that like a little mind-blowing? That the star beings and the beautiful planets that they're from and all the galaxies, that to even think that they're relying on this amazing gravitational pull, magnetic pull of the Earth, that they're relying on that magnetic pull. Like, it blows my mind to keep all the planets and stars in the sky. Now, I don't think it's holding the entire universe together, but it's still kind of mind-blowing to think that we're always thinking about we need help, or, they're higher, they're this, that, but they're like, you guys are really blessed to be on Earth, is kind of their message. I don't think they say you guys. That's my word for it. All right. This is why there's so many other star cultures that watch what's happening here on Earth. Again, these other star cultures are invested in the outcome, not just for Earth, but all the galaxies and the universe. Now they get a little more personal. I love that. I love gravity. You are being activated. Are you ready? Do you get goosebumps? You are being activated with the potential of great intellectual concepts. The information is only possible at this time because we are expanding, and you can now ground into that expansion, bringing this high-level knowledge into the earthly plane. So remember that spirals, bringing those light codes in, communicating to the earthly light codes through crystals, and then that's communicating back. So there's this harmonious balance happening between us and other planets. Yeah, Jennifer, my mind is tripping. My mind is tripping. And I've experienced a lot of trippy things in my life. But it's trippy in that bigger way, right? It's when we think about, wow, I'm a part of the galaxy. So, all right, let me keep going. I'm excited. Basically, the star beings are sending the light codes to provide us with spiritual, intellectual tools to design things on Earth that will end up assisting us. So remember, they said, we wish we could do the heavy lifting for you. We cannot, but we can send you the tools, the high-level information, so you can build it, you can create it, you can design it, you can take science to another level so that you can create things to help you. Now, meditation is one of those things. It's like the gift to help us, but not many people bring that gift. It's dropped at our front door, but we don't bring it into the house. And so that's one of the gifts where high star light codes come through meditation. When you meditate, you're able to bring in that high level information more. Think of it as the great treasure hunt. So get excited, because this is what the star beings said. They want us to think of it as the great treasure hunt, just like searching for the Ark of the Covenant. When your mind can make a discovery, then you, yes, little old you, little young you, can share it with the world. So the blue spirals are able to come down to the Earth because of the gravitational pull. It expands the Earth. It's able to pull in more higher knowledge. Within those spirals are the star codes. The more you can develop, practice, and play with your telepathy, the greater chance you have of hearing the higher dimensional information. And then, and then I said, we should have telepathy parties, where you just kind of gather and you practice sending messages to each other. You might not be able to communicate at this level telepathically right now because no one told you before you can do it. Now, I've told you. We are 230 days away from really the final, last, biggest surge that's going to happen in November in 2023. The blue light beings are sharing that this time of enhancing is enhancing our telepathic channels so that we have an easier time communicating mind to mind, not only with other human beings, spiritual beings, but also multidimensional beings like angels, ascended masters like Jesus or Buddha, Mother Mary or Kuan Yin, Shiva. I asked the blue ones, what's the difference between regular telepathy and blue light telepathy? They shared that the telepathic channels are all the same. You have your own, the telepathic channels, and regularly they are often infused with the silver and gold frequency. But adding the blue frequency activates your ability to communicate those higher frequency sound frequencies. How many of you are hearing a high-pitched ringing in your ears right now? That's because we're talking about very high-level frequencies, and because we're doing that, you're actually hearing them as high frequencies. We're going to clear up those channels and see if you can start to kind of tap in a little bit. Again, it might not happen overnight. It could happen overnight, but it might be a few years, but practice parties. They went further to say that regular telepathy shared between two humans can come through your languaging, verbal languaging. So you're communicating with another person, but there's a whole level of communication that's happening telepathically as well. So you want to try to get better at talking, and it's like, but at the same time, you're kind of tapped into that telepathic level. You might not be able to do it now because no one ever told you you could, but you can. And it is kind of trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. And I remember when I first started practicing, like asking my spirit, what are you saying while I'm talking to this person? There was a delay, and then the delay got shorter and shorter and shorter. And now it's almost like when I'm talking, I can hear you all communicating back at me at the same time. But it took me a few years of practice, and I was invested in that practice. You need to be invested in that practice, not after you clean the bathroom and wash the clothes. Make this a priority. That's Nancy speaking, not the blue light beings. Okay, let's see here. Telepathy can translate in other languages as well. So when I travel and someone's speaking in a foreign language, I'll listen and I'll ask my spirit, what did they say? And spirit said, oh, they're talking about, did you want to go have dinner soon? And then I'll say yes. And they'll say, how did you know what I just asked you? It's like, well, because my spirit translated. See, there's a lot of benefits to these telepathic superpowers. And yes, Tanya, you should be concerned about telepathic boundaries, privacy, and integrity. And that's something that you are working on big time because you do work with your telepathic channels all the time. So, but in this talk, I'm talking about just starting to open up. And so because Tanya mentioned that, it's like, all right, don't start talking telepathically to people without letting them know. But I say practice. Like I used to get on the phone with a friend and I'd say, can we send messages back and forth, or we'd be in the same room. So do it that way, but be respectful. Thank you, Tanya, for mentioning that. But how about telepathic communication with whales and dolphins? How about mermaids? How about telepathic communication to trees, to plants? How about your pets in your household? How about, snakes and bugs? And how about telepathic communication to the stars? All of that's possible. Just no one ever told you could do it before. So, are you ready to open up to your telepathic gifts? Let's do a little meditation. We got started a little late because of my little glitch. I planned out my talk, but I did not make room for a glitch. It's kind of like life, right? Things are moving along and then the glitch happens. Yes. So another Facebook user, thank you so much. You can practice while you're doing dishes and doing laundry. Yep. That's how I got crazy good at communicating telepathically, is I was excited about it. I was curious about it. I was driven. As a nurse and as just somebody who's just like, how is that even possible? I was excited. So you're going to hear my little dog in the background barking, but let's go ahead and do our meditation. Oh, wait. If you've closed your eyes, open them again for a minute. Your telepathic channels come off the side of the head. To me, they look like why am I doing that? To me, they kind of look like little branches off of a bush, but they can look like little feathers that have the little feathers that come off. So they come off each side of the head. They come off the back of the head. They come off right here from between the eye, and they come up this way. And they're very light filaments. But here on the earthly plane, especially if we're being bombarded with a lot of noise and a lot of BS and a lot of lies and a lot of programming from other people, it can get really heavy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to clean them off. Okay, now close your eyes, turn within. Can you feel the excitement of your spirit? Can you feel the excitement of the blue beings of light? All while your human body may not be so excited, but you can just tell your body, get excited. It's exciting. You're going to love it. Say hello to your higher self. And ask your higher self to help you to open up your telepathic channels at a comfortable pace for your body. Open your telepathic channels at a pace that's comfortable for your body. Because if you just suddenly started talking to star beings, the light flipped on and your body gets a little freaked out by it, it's too much. So be gentle with all aspects of yourself and say, please help me to open up my telepathic channels at a pace that's comfortable for my body. So now what you're going to do is we're just going to bring through this column of light. And this column, it's like a spiral. It's like a broad spiral of light of cosmic blue, which is more like a lapis cobalt blue. It's a darker blue. And go ahead and just imagine one of those spirals is coming to Earth, and it's going to connect with your own spirit, infusing through the top of your aura. And it's just going to gently swirl around in your aura. It's going to swirl through the top of your physical head. It's going to lightly swirl in the throughout your head, your eyes, ears, throat. The blue light dissolves all illusions. The blue light dissolves all illusions. It enhances and magnifies truth. So as it's gently, slowly swirling through your chakras, through your physical body, wherever it flows, it's going to start to break apart and dissolve any illusionary lies that you might be holding in your energy field. And it's going to enhance truth. So one of those lies is, I'm not very bright, I'm not very smart, I'm not intuitive, I can't possibly communicate telepathically, I need to hide my light for whatever reason. Those are all illusions. Let's let them break apart, dissolve, and just keep flowing all the way down through the earth to the magnetic core. And then let it enhance truth. I am more than capable. I am here for a purpose on earth. I can make choices in my life to help me expand my belief in myself. So just let that blue light come all the way down further and further through your arms, your legs, your back, your stomach. All the way down into your pelvis, your hips. Let that blue spiral go all the way down through the crust, Earth's crust. It's passing that blue light through. It's going to go all the way to the core of the earth to connect with the blue, high level, intellectual level crystals, blue crystals. It's going to touch the crystals, and then the spiral is going to move back up the body. So we're only going to take about 30 seconds of quiet as this blue light goes all the way to the center of the earth, and then it moves all the way back up through your energy field and back up to the cosmos. As the communication from the core of the earth, from those blue crystals, begins to move back up through your energy field, now imagine the blue light flowing through those telepathic channels that branch off the upper part of your aura, the upper part of your head, the back, the front, and just have it intention to flow slowly through the telepathic channels. You might feel a lightness I might hear like a snap, crackle, pop as any stuck energy there gets dissolved. You might hear a hum as the telepathic channels start kind of leveling up and becoming more active. You might see color, that blue color moving through the branches of your telepathic channels. Or you may not feel, hear, or see, but you know something's happening. You know it's happening. So I'm going to take another 30 seconds of quiet as you allow this flow of blue to go through the telepathic channels as high as you can go, because your telepathic channels go to very high dimensions. Just clean it all off. Bring it to its most highly functional state. All right, set your intention that even with your attention off of it, off your telepathic channels, that the blue spirals of light will continue to move down and up and down and up, slowly clearing your telepathic, healing your telepathic channels at a pace that's comfortable for your body. Remind yourself of today's date or the date you're listening to the replay. It's called present timing yourself. Remind yourself of your current age. Present aging yourself. Nice. All right, let's all come back, bring our consciousness back to the room that you are in. Open your eyes, move your body around. So, I'd love it if you'd post in the comments section, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. It doesn't have to be done now, but it's a lovely exchange for me to be able to read what your experience was like starting to clear those telepathic channels. And what do you think about how the Earth that you live on might influence the other planets, the other galaxies, and the universe? Like those ponderings, keep pondering. I'd love it if, for those of you on the Blue Light page, to post more. That would be lovely. And read more about it, look into it. I am going to start providing some information about what will be happening in November. It will probably be up fully by June, that you'll get some more information about that. And let's see what else. Oh, meditate with the blue light. So you can find the blue light meditations. There are 2 of them on my website. You just go to shop, click the shop button, and it'll say free meditation. You click the free meditation. You can download free blue light meditation. There's no excuse. You have access to it. For those of you on the Facebook Blue Light Movement page, I think it's under featured. you can click on that, and the links to the two meditations are there. And then over the next couple of months, I'm going to get some more information about the spirals that are coming to the earth and then going back out to the universe. But as you walk around today, let's just show a little reverence and respect for the fact that our planet has one of the highest gravitational pulls of all planets, and that the galaxies and the star cultures of star beings out there just think we are so fortunate to have that gravity that helps create tension for everything to grow. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll love to hear more from you. And thanks so much for popping on. I will see you again next month, where we will talk about another topic of the blue light. Have fun. Take care. You're welcome. Bye-bye.